All right, this is our second video for transformations. Again, make sure that you are using the one that says Student Handout 2, Translations on the Coordinate Plane. So we're going to talk only about translations on this worksheet. All right, so let's fill in some notes real quick here. A translation moves every point of the figure the same direction and the same distance. So if you move one corner, you have to move all the corners the same amount. A translation can move a figure left and right. I'm just going to put left/right and or up/down. So if you remember, a translation can go side to side. It can go up and down as well. Translations are also thought of as slides. This is a slide one. Easy way I remembered it was there's an S and there's an S in translations. So just made it easy for me, SL. Little thing I used to use. All right, so let's try to move our figure here. Translate this figure 5 units left, 2 units down, and record your new image. All right, so this is my pre-image. I know that's pre-image because all of these are just A, B, and C. There's no prime. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the dots. I usually pick the dot closest to the first direction they want me to go. If they want me to go left, I'm going to pick the one left. If they wanted me to go right, I'd pick C. So from this point, I am going to move 5 units left. Now, 5 units literally means 5 boxes of the graph paper. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there's my 5 units. But notice I also have to do 2 units down. So that's 2 boxes down. 1, 2. So I'm going to put a dot here. This will now be my A prime. Okay. Now I'm going to switch up colors here just so you can follow my dots. So my blue, I'm going to go 5 left, 2 down. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So my B prime will be right there. All right, now let's do C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2. So here will be my C prime. So now I'm going to take, let's see if I have a different color here. Let's try purple. All right. I want you to grab something in your house that will give you a straight edge. We're going to go straight down. And create our image. All right. So our pre-image, we had A, B, and C. A was at 2, 4, and I know this because I went over 2 up to 4, and there's my green dot. So we are at 2, 4. B, I'm going to go, it's going to see over 6, up 7. So over 6, up 7. And C is over 7, up 3. All right, but what are the coordinates of my image now? So we have A prime, B prime, and C prime. My A prime landed on -3, +2. So -3, +2. My B prime landed on 1, 5. So over 1, up 5. Yep. And my C prime landed on 2, 1. So over 2, up 1. Look for any patterns and describe what happened to the X and Y values of each ordered pair. So what you should notice here, okay, between these ordered pairs is that moving left decreased all of your X's by 5. So let me point that out to you. Your X is your first image. So I went from 2 to -3. Okay, that's by 5. What is 6 take away 1? That's 5. What's 7 take away 2? That's 5. So we're going to say that our x values decreased by 5. And why do you think we decreased by 5? Because we're moving to this direction. And this direction contains negatives. So to get a negative x value, you are decreasing. All right, let's see if we can find a relationship with the y's. So if you notice here, I went from 4 to 2. Okay, I would say that's a decrease by 2. Let's see if that pattern continues. A 7 to a 5. Yep, that's a decrease by 2. How about 3 to 1? Yep, that's a decrease by 2. So I'm going to say my y values decreased by 2. And why do you think it decreased by 2? Well, if you remember in our directions, it says 2 units down. So left is subtracting and down is subtracting. So if you learn those little keywords, it makes it a little easier. So how can we represent this algebraically? Algebraically means with an equation or a formula. So I'm going to say my x value decreased by 5, comma, my y value decreased by 2. And that is representing this in some sort of equation, some kind of formula in this case. All right, let's try this next one. Okay, so translate the figure 4 units right, 3 units up. All right. So we're going in a little different this time. So since I'm going to the right, I'm going to grab my farthest right dot. That's just where I like to start. Right here, it really doesn't matter where you start. And I'm going to move it 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 3 units up. 1, 2, 3. So my F prime will be right there. So I'm going to grab my E now. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. And now 2 units up. 3 units up, 3. So there's my E prime. And then I have my D. So we have over to the right 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now go 3 up. 1, 2, 3. So that'll be my D prime. All right, so I'm going to connect these dots with a straight edge. I'm on a tablet, so we all know how that looks. All right, so you can see the image just slid over. So I have my A image, my B image, and my C pre-image. Let's do those coordinates. All right, well, actually, we don't have A. I got carried away there. Let's take that back. I have E or D first, E, and then F. All right, so my D coordinate is going to be -7, -4. My E coordinate is right here, so that's -4, +1. And my F is going to be -3, -5. All right, what are the coordinates of my new image? So we have D prime, E prime, and F prime. So my D prime lands at -3, -1. So -3, -1. My E prime lands at 0, 4. Lands right there on 0, 4. And then F is 1, -2. So over 1, down 2. So let's see if we can find any patterns this time. So my X went from -7 to -3. Okay, I would say it increased by 4. It's getting closer to 0. How about this one? -4 to 0. Well, that's definitely adding 4. -3 to +1. That's adding 4. So I would say that my X values increased. by 4. All right, let's see about my y values. I went from -4 to -1. I'm going to say that increased by 3. I went from 1 to 4. That's an add of 3, adding 3 there. -5 to -2, definitely adding 3 there. So I'm going to say my y values increased by 3. So let's look back up at our directions. Right means to add, and up means to add. So if you remember these little cheater tricks here, left, down, we're subtracting. Right and up, we're adding. So let's write this algebraically. X increased by 4. So that's going to be x plus 4, comma. Y increased by 3. Y plus 3. There you go. All right, let's go on to the back. I'm going to have you do 3 and 4 on your own. It's a duplicate of what we just kind of did. But there's one little part here that they mentioned. What do you notice about the line segments of the pre-image and the image? Do they change in size? All right, so what I want you to do is see, did your image here change in size? Now, they already graphed it for you. You have to list the coordinates of the move. Okay, do pay attention to the ones that are prime and the ones that are not prime. And I want you to tell me if they changed in size. If they did not change in size, that's called congruent. All right, so I want you guys to do those two. Let's look down here. I'm just going to do one of these with you. I'm going to do number 5. And again, you can skip this. So describe the translation. All right, so we're looking at those patterns again. I went from 12 to -1. Oh, wow. Well, we definitely are decreasing. Well, if we're decreasing and it's an X, that means we went something to the left. I just got to figure out how many somethings. All right, then I have my Y's. I went from 7 to 14. Ooh, I increased. So obviously my Y's, I'm going to say and, my Y's went up. All right, so 12 to -1 means I subtracted 13. So we're going to say 13 left. Now I went from 7 to 14. That means I added 7. So we went 7 up. All right, I want you to try 6 and 7. So this will end this tutorial.